Hi everyone, welcome back to Learn Easy Academy. In today's video, we are going to understand how to calculate annual percentage rate in a very simple way. Annual percentage rate is also known as APR. If you have ever taken a loan or used a credit card, APR is one of the most important concepts you should know. So first, let's understand what APR means. Annual percentage rate or APR is the total cost of borrowing for 1 year. Yearly interest rate is charged on a loan or a credit card balance or other credit products. The actual annual cost of borrowing money, including all fees and charges which is associated with the credit product. Here you can see on the right hand side I have written APR versus interest rate. What is the difference between APR and interest rate? Here you can see this is APR, annual percentage rate. It includes the total cost of borrowing, means it includes the interest rate, the interest which we are paying when we borrow money, and it also includes the additional fees. Additional fees like we are paying the application fees, the origination fees, or the closing cost. All the cost which is related to taking the loan is included in annual percentage rate. So you can see here it gives a comprehensive view of the loan cost, complete cost of the loan. Whereas an interest rate is just tells us the amount of interest that we are paying when we take a loan. It gives a short-term picture of the cost of loan taken. So here you can see the formula for calculating APR is equal to total cost of credit divided by total amount, bracket close, then it will be divided by loan term, bracket close, multiply by 1, multiply by 100. So the total cost of credit includes all interest and fees which is associated with the loan, including application fees, origination fees, and closing costs. Now we will understand this with the help of an examples. So we will take the first exercise and we will learn how to calculate the annual percentage rate, which is called as APR. So this is the first exercise or first example. Aju borrows 4,000 at the rate of 5% simple interest for 2 years. The closing administrative cost for the loan is 200. Find the APR. So before finding out the APR or before calculating the APR, first we have to write down all the cost which is associated, which is related to the loan. So here first we have to calculate the interest, how much interest is paid. Then we will add the administrative cost for the loan which is given 200. When we add this together, we will get the total cost of credit. And then we will use the formula for APR. So what is the first thing that we need to do here is we will find out the interest. So here interest is given is simple interest. So we will be using the formula for simple interest, which is I is equal to P into R into T. So P is my principal amount or the amount of loan taken. What is the loan? What is the amount of loan which is taken by Aju? It is 4,000. Multiply by rate of interest. What is the rate of interest? 5%. 5% means 5 per 100. So it will come to 0.05. Multiply by time period. It is for 2 years. So multiply by 2. So when I take it on this calculator, 4000 multiply by 0.05 multiply by 2, we will get the answer, that is 400. So the interest which Aju is paying is 400. Now we will write down what is the total cost of credit. Before moving on to calculating the APR, we should write down all the types of cost. We have to write down total cost of credit. So what is the total cost? Interest plus administrative cost. How much is the interest? We just calculated 400 plus, you can see here 200, this is given, 200 is the administrative cost. So we will write here 200 is my administrative cost, that is equal to 600. So this 600 is my total cost of credit. This 200 is what? My administrative cost. I will write here admin cost. So this is my administrative cost. So 600 is my total cost. Now we will write the formula for APR. We will calculate the APR. So first thing what we have to do, we need to write down the formula. APR, annual percentage rate, is equal to, my previous slide I have already told you what is the formula. So here we are writing the bracket, then we write total cost of credit, total cost of credit. This is the formula. Need to remember the formula. Total cost of credit divided by loan amount smaller bracket close, this whole divided by loan term, for how much time we have taken, the time period, loan term bracket close, multiply by 1, multiply by 100. Now we will just replace it with the value. So APR is equal to, what is my total cost of credit? Just now we have calculated 600 plus, so 600, 400 is interest plus 200 is my administrative cost. So here we will write it down. Total cost of credit is 600 divided by loan amount. What is my loan amount? What is the total amount of loan I have taken? The loan amount is, Aju has taken 4000. So 600 divided by 4000, the bracket close, the whole divided by loan term. Term is the period for 2 years. The bracket close, multiply by 1, multiply by 100. So now when you take it on your calculator, 600 divided by 4000 divided by 2, it will come to 0.075. Now this 0.075 multiply by 1 and multiply by 100. You will get the answer, which is called as 7.5. Remember, it is annual percentage, so it will always come in percentage. 7.5%. This 7.5% is my APR, annual percentage rate. So you can see the interest which is charged, the interest is charged at 5% simple interest. That is only the interest amount. but we need to add the other cost also. So the actual cost of taking a loan of 4,000 for a period of 2 years for Aju is 7.5%, which includes interest plus administrative cost. This gives a clear picture about how much is the cost of borrowing a money. We'll take another example. Here Raja wants to apply for a mortgage loan for 100,000 with a repayment tenure of 60 months. Remember 60 months. This is T. It is given in months. We have to convert it into years. 60 months. So in 1 year we have 12 months. So we will divide it. 60 divided by 12. So we will divide 60 divided by 12. When we do this, when we convert it into years, 60 divided by 12, this will be 5 years. So it will be 5 years. The interest is at 7% simple interest. 7% simple interest. The bank charges a fees of 1.5% towards insurance cost and 500 towards processing and closing cost. We have to calculate the APR. So what I told you, we have to calculate the total cost of credit. So we will write down all the things one by one. So first we will calculate how much is the interest, because the major cost which we have to pay is the interest. So interest is equal to P into R into T. What is the P? The amount of loan is taken, that is 100,000 multiply by rate of interest is 7%. 7% means 0.07 multiply by period. Remember this is 60 months. So in 1 year we have 12 months. We will divide 60 divided by 5. It is 60 divided by 12. It will come to 5 years. When you calculate this, we get the answer 35,000. Now we will write it down. We have calculated the first cost, that is interest. Now you can see the bank charges 1.5% towards insurance cost. So 1.5% of the total loan. That is, so now what we will do, 100,000 multiply by 1.5%. So now we will write the second type of cost is bank charges. So how much bank is charging? 1.5%. 1.5% of what? 100,000, the amount of loan taken. So 100,000 multiplied by 1.5%. When you calculate this, we get the answer 1,500. So this is the bank charges plus 500 is the processing and closing cost. So this also we will write. Now we will write it down, the total cost of credit. Because before calculating the APR, we should write down the total cost of credit, which is very important. Total cost of credit. Total cost of credit is equal to how much? 35,000, which is interest, plus bank charges 1,500 plus processing and closing cost 500. So when we add 35,000 plus 1,500 plus 500, we get 37,000. This 37,000 is my total, is Raja's total cost of credit. Now we will write down the formula for APR. So APR is equal to bracket, in a small bracket, total cost of credit divided by, you need to remember the formula, total cost of credit divided by loan amount small bracket close, then this amount is divided by loan term. Loan term means for how much time the loan is taken. It is 60 months means 5 years. Multiply by 1, multiply by 100. Now we will replace it with the values. APR is equal to, what is my total cost of credit? What is the total cost of credit for Raja? 37,000 divided by, the total amount is, the loan amount is 100,000, bracket close, divide by loan term. For how much term it is taken? It is taken for 5 years. This bracket will be closed, multiply by 1, multiply by 100. Now we will write it down. APR is equal to 37,000 divided by 100,000. We will get 0.37 divided by 5, multiply by 1, multiply by 100. So we will get the answer. It is 7.4%. Always remember, we are calculating annual percentage rate, so it will come in percentage. 7.4% is my APR, or annual percent rate. So this is the actual or the total cost of borrowing money. Just pay attention. 7% is the simple interest, but actual, the total cost which Raja has to pay on taking a mortgage loan is 7.4%. Okay, so this is what we have understood, how to calculate annual percentage rate. In my next video, I'll explain you how to calculate the installment, how much installment we are paying, EMI, equated monthly installment. Okay, so if you like this video, just share it with your friends so that they can also take the advantage, and just subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any videos related to these financial calculations of different concepts.